Okay, welcome boys and girls to our first lesson on our flipped classroom. Today we're going to do variables and expressions. And remember, anytime during our flipped lessons, if I'm going too fast, if you need more time to write something down, pause the video, rewind the video, watch it again. I'm just going through the information. You're learning at your own pace. So if you understand it, you got it, move on. If you need to hear it again or you're writing and I moved on, pause it and go back. We have four definitions here, and you only have to write down the two that are starred. The first definition is numerical expression, which consists of numbers and operations. That would be like 5 plus 4, 8 times 9. If I ask you to solve that or answer the problem, I'm going to call it simplifying. Okay, so if I say simplify 5 plus 4, you would tell me the answer is 9. That's what simplifying means. The next definition is a variable, and a variable is a letter used to represent one or more numbers. Typical variables that I'll use in class are n, x, or y, but any letter would work. The next definition is a variable expression, and this you need to write down in your notebooks. And a variable expression consists of numbers, variables, and operations. So it's the same thing as a numerical expression, except now we have variables in there. So it'd be like 5 plus r, 9 times n. Any problems that have numbers, variables, and operations. The last definition is to evaluate. And when you evaluate something, you substitute a number in for each variable. That's the first step. And the next part is to simplify the resulting numerical expression. So if I had 5 plus r, and r was 12, I would plug in 12 for the r, and I would have 5 plus 12, which equals 17. Now let's do some examples of these in class. Our first example is evaluating a variable expression. So that's just what I went over in the definition. If I have example A, where 4 times d, when d equals 120, here's how I'm going to evaluate this problem. The first thing I'm going to do is substitute 120 in for d, because d equals 120. So I'm going to take out, let me get my pen ready here. I'm going to take out my 120, plug it in here. 4 times 120, and then 4 times 120 equals 480. That's how you do it. Now, you must work down in class, guys. You must work down in class, and you must remember to show your work. Yes, you have to show this. 4 times 120 equals 480. Let me go back and get my pen ready again. It keeps disappearing on me. Now, for B, r plus 8 when r equals 12. Simple. I'm just going to put 12 in for r. So I'm going to write that down. 12 plus 8, and that equals 20. Okay, again, I'm working down, I'm showing my work. Now, it's not a bad idea, guys, to box in your answers so we know what is going on. Okay, next example. Let's say I have two variables, and a lot of times I have two variables. The variables will be at the top of the page. So if I have two variables, I'm just going to plug them in for the appropriate ones. So I'm going to plug 5 in for x, so that's going to be 5 plus, and I'm going to plug 8 in for y. 8. 5 plus 8 is 13. Alright, sorry guys, I'm using a mouse to write this, so it's a little harder. For d, x, y, now it doesn't look like there's an operation there, but there is. Multiplication is the operation, so I want to make sure that when I solve this problem, I plug 5 in for x, I plug 8 in for y, and then I need to put a multiplication symbol in between them, otherwise it might look like 58. I like to use dots myself. You can use dots or x's or parentheses. Now I have 5 times 8, which is 40. And that is how I show my work. I'm working down, and that's how I get my answer. Next slide, last example, is writing a variable expression. To write a variable expression, you're not evaluating these at all. You're just taking words and putting it into a variable expression. The first one is 12 less than a number. To do 12 less than a number, less than means to subtract, so it's going to be a subtraction problem. I can put that right away. Now a number, that's what I don't know, and the stuff I don't know is where I put my variable for. Now here's the key. It says less than, and this word than is very important because that's going to switch the order in which I write them. So I'm actually going to put my variable first. I'm going to use n, and then I'm going to put my 12 after. Okay, 12 less than a number means that number minus 12. That's going to be 12 less than whatever that number is right there. That's my answer. I'm done. There's no work. For B, you divide the 120 players in a league into teams with equal numbers of players. Keyword here is divide, so I know it's a division problem. I'm just doing 120 divided by, all right, now I want to know how many, I'm trying to find the number of players on each team. So that is my variable. So I'm going to use P for that number. Okay, and that variable is going to represent the number of players on each team. Okay, and if I wanted to use it, I could just plug that number in there. All right, and that is it for your first lesson. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you all tomorrow.